Hello everybody, welcome in. Here we are continuing on with the European Esports Championship. Of course, we're out in the booth at the moment. We got some lighting as well. It is Scriv and Naokai to take you through all of the action here. Looking forward to getting into it. A brief day for us, I suppose. It's just going to be the one game as far as we're aware. So, you know, just sort of getting through things here as we're in the middle of the tournament. Starting to wave goodbye to a few teams. We've got a few that are getting through to those latter stages as well. And yeah, we're keeping up with the Counter-Strike. We check in with Lithuania once again here today.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we're starting to get now towards the real kind of tail end of groups, and it's about setting up for playoffs. Winner of this game takes on Kosovo, if I'm right in saying, heading in towards the next. That gets really quite spicy, actually. I mean, I think at the moment, really nobody wants to take on Kosovo. They've just been fantastic, but also not only that, having that sixth man of the crowd behind them, it's so difficult to play against. For any of you who kind of caught yesterday's game, Kosovo taking on Denmark, an absolute corker. You should go back and watch that, especially that map number 3. That was pretty sick. But, you know, you can even check out the videos that we posted, right, where, you know, just how loud it was in here. It was electric. So it's a tough side to play up against. And, you know, you look at this kind of game as well. Two sides that are both inherently mixers going off against what is predominantly a full side, plus Krebeni, who is fragging IGL with a lot to add to the table. So, yeah, it's a difficult matchup, if that is right to be, that they're going to be playing Kosovo, whoever wins this. And then, of course, whoever loses it, unfortunately, you have to say goodbye to. This is to see off the end of the group. These two find themselves kind of both in sort of second and third. Winner of this gets that last spot going through the group. So an interesting time all in all. But, yeah, not a lot of Counter-Strike on today. Only the one game just to round out these groups. But let's get the show on the road. We're going to kickstart things here on Anubis. Lithuania, of course, not a bad showing yesterday, but I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. That Polish side, unfortunately, they're very weak. It's very evident. This is a side that don't play a lot of high-level Counter-Strike. Not a team by any means. Where you look at Lithuania, you've got individuals like Ryu and Djugas, who this year have actually been fantastic. Magila as well has actually had a lot of experience in towards Tier 2. And then Bimas, a guy who was a Tier 1 stalwart for a while, playing at that top level and actually doing quite well when he was there. And unfortunately, since the change to Counter-Strike to him, it's not been as smooth for him, but we know he's still got bits of it in the locker.
Yeah, I think unfortunately those final sort of 6 months on Miles were really not great, and it maybe brought his stock down. And he's not really done an awful lot since. So we'll see. Playing out with his countrymen could be the inspiration that he needs. Early nades, smoke coming in fact. They're going to go ahead of it, so I mean it does maybe hold off some rotations. Okay. Wow. Damn, I thought maybe the T side were going to get in and create a bomb plant or something along those lines, but it just get ruined there as they move through camera.
Yeah, no real conversation in that one. Hey, fantastic work, though, coming through. Lithuania, really solid pistol. Nice couple of kills that kind of come to kind of fruition for them. They just take fights. They get aggressive. They get into the thick of it. That's what you want to see. So, a nice start. I think, generally speaking, I would actually traditionally come in towards this game and say North Macedonia are the favourites. You've got individuals like A-Kit, Danny, Stresson, all playing on that kind of Blue Jays roster that ended up being, you know, the real top end of Tier 2. They actually looked fantastic for a long while. You know, there's times when they were kind of beating the Eternal Fire side, and, you know, there's a lot of people with a lot of eyes on them, and they kept it up, and they kept proving what they can play at. And also, these are guys who have won this tournament actually a couple of times. They won 2021 in Israel, if I'm right in saying 2022 in Bali. So they are a side who are used to winning here in IESF. So you look at them now as guys with lots of experience in these sort of events. And I just think as well, they've probably got a higher ceiling, especially people like 8K, like Stresson, Danny. I've seen good moments from them. So we'll see. Bimas, what have you got for us? Well, he's going to probably get gifted over a couple. And he does. The third was there looming, but unable to see it over the lines. Thankfully, Djugas will get his before dropping, but it's still a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, this looks scary. They get ahead of that camera. Smoke. Is that wise? No.
Oh!
The follow-up is a little dangerous for sure. Spartus hesitant, didn't really want to go through the smoke, but his teammate kind of forced him to. And the force buy is successful. So speaking testament to what you were saying, maybe indeed we've got a game on our hands here. I think this could be a close one, another long matchup for sure.
And just for those who are unaware as well, Vito, Anubis player picked by Lithuania, Ancients coming up next, picked by North Macedonia, and if we need it, Nuke our decider. So that is the Vito. This is, you know, one of those sort of situations, though, if North Macedonia are able to take Anubis. It puts them in a really good spot for this veto. Nice little tap away with a Glock by Stressen. He gets a double to crack open this round. Of course, it's a force buy back in play for Lithuania. And the force buy that hasn't started all too effectively. Down to now a 4 versus 3. Just one MP9 left in play for Magila.
8-Kit trained up here. Is there going to be a peak coming his way? I don't think so. They were thinking about it for a moment, but they don't want to give any more lives away. Slow roll here from North Macedonia as they're looking to find and abuse control of this middle area. Sparta spots one down below. There's not really too much coming in this round, you feel, for the CT side. A nice little contact move. Super confident. We talked about the coordination that these guys are going to have. This is a great example of it. And I don't think they have any idea. Lithuania with their backs turned, the 2 players in towards A main here. Could get overlooked is the thing. And they will indeed, actually. Oh, Stresson stays cool and finds that kill. You feel like he should have definitely gone down there, but looking good at the moment. It's just Spartus left, who was that Bianca player.
I'm surprised they actually don't even go and check in towards main, or at least they're not kind of pouncing at the same time. That nearly got a little dicey for a brief moment. Thankfully not to be. So this will be a second put on the board and actually an inexpensive second too. Lithuania forced by, as we mentioned, ineffective. And with just a 5-7 now being saved, there's no real opportunity to pick up any upgraded weapons either for Spartus. Does make this pretty unfortunate. We're kind of looking at this and saying it's now a 2-1, should be a 3-1 scoreline, and a really good opportunity for North Macedonia just to pull away in the early part of this game. On your opponent's map pick, no less as well. Actually a really decent kind of position to be in for them. So, yeah, looking good so far here on Anubis. Man, yeah, it's a tough time. Interestingly enough as well, you know, for North Macedonia, they've elected to start T-side here in towards this map. I think that kind of makes sense. I mean, this is the most T-sided map we've got in the pool.
For sure.
Statistically, and they want to really pull away as early as they can. And so far looks so good, right? You know, this should be a freebie put on the board for them for the third. And if they're able to kind of break this next gun round for Lithuania, they're really actually in quite a worrying spot.
Yeah, I mean, this is something, again, when you come into this environment, you've got a few mixed teams and things like that. It's the CT side, actually, where like those little nuances that you might not have well drilled can cost you quite a bit. We saw
Poland, right? The T side, especially that second map, was actually okay, right? 5 rounds, we're like, okay, but the CT side non-existent because they just don't know how to play off each other.
Swing,
exactly.
Like, just cost you the round. So I think that they are pretty aware of that. North Macedonia playing well here thus far. It is somewhat tense. I think both these teams recognize that they're kind of dark horses. They're kind of both capable of maybe clinching even the tournament, perhaps.
Yes.
So really quite tense here to make sure that they stay alive.
I look at North Macedonia, and they're a side that I always feel like are more or less guaranteed playoffs, just because they actually are a side with decent depth, but it's actually the first round of playoffs is only within 4 flat. And that's been the case for the last couple of years. Neno for a triple, in fact, with the Galil spraying down mid. They just go for a grouped up play Lithuania, and they get mowed down. It's Spartus with that saved 5-7. He's all that's left, and he's now a known quantity. He's taking a pop shot as well. So Kimar going to go have a look. He's got the right idea. And he'll make sure to see it off. Flawless for the third as well. Exactly what you want in a round like that. Just no hiccups, no question marks about it. You get it over the line. And it's 3 rounds back to back. So building up real stability, real decent economy, confidence too as well. Fantastic. There's very little you can say in a negative note over towards North Macedonia right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think, look, when you win that force buy, when you get the break, it's pretty tough for the CT side to really do anything. And all of a sudden, you know, your half goes into turmoil after you feel good. You know, you win the pistol and everyone has that feeling in the back of your mind that you're going to take an easy 2 rounds at least.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't happen for you. So suddenly you have to reapproach and completely redesign the CT side. So an important round here, I would say, for Lithuania, because this half could start really getting away from them if they don't do anything with this buy.
Much more patient approach. I love the call by North Macedonia. Just slow it down. You know that the guns are coming back in play, and you know this is where they might try and test the waters a little bit more than the previous couple of rounds. And this is where patience could be a virtue for them. You catch somebody overextending, you catch somebody in an awkward spot, and you give it an opportunity. And this is where you look towards this North Macedonian side, and you can actually see this very decent kind of, at least ideal. So it's pretty evident they've got a bit of prac under their belt as well, flashing for each other. The teamwork's pretty solid. We know this is much easier to kind of formulate on the C side, but it's nice to see Lithuania feels like they're quite reliant on individuals to step up in a big way. There's looking like they're brewing for a mid-crunch here. It's a great flash, but it actually works against Neno.
Nice find to start things off. They're going to pick up the pace in A main. The rest of the squad coming this way. And the defense is pretty damn solid. There's 3 players on this side, so they're going to have to overcome the odds massively here, it feels, for these final 2 players. Doing their best. The off angle, though, from Bemis is enough. And too many angles for Stress on to check. So keeping it maybe a bit too simple there. Yeah. The defense was very, very ready for that.
And kind of just as I'm bigging them up as well, that was actually a really quite sloppy execute coming through with so many individual fights not playing together. They tried to flash in towards mid. I think Neno got caught by a counter flash there, so that made his life very difficult. So blind, 3 players swinging, but not the round that they would have wanted. Great response to Lithuania. You come back in towards the investment for the first time in a little while, and you make it stick, and actually really effectively too. But same can be said for North Macedonia. Alt now and play for them on that C side. Something in which the CTs don't have to wield. And Kit, he's had his highlight moments. I'm telling him to go into CS2 when the North Macedonian scene was sort of really actually looking quite promising.
Sure.
He was a large part of it. An AWPer, but quite a versatile one as well. Really solid with the rifle when he wants to get going as well. I do wonder how he tries to play with this AWP. He does like the shotgun AWP quite a bit as well, so I wonder what he's going to try and get in the thick of it and actually try and be the entry.
Yeah, it always feels like you need to have that on Anubis as well. There's only so much time you can spend on the longer angles before to get those early kills on a bomb site. It is again quite a slow roll here, and a late push through B main. I do like it. They backed it with a lot of members.
Yeah.
No one there. Just going to leave Magilla to go digging for information.
They know now as well.
Yeah,
right?
This is dangerous.
I'm just surprised they haven't dragged over rotation sooner. Julius, that feels a little sloppy. You know, there's no way you're falling out of that. You're just trying to stand tall, try and get one before you drop. But he tries to bail. He's given no luxury there. That's a great shot as well from Kimot. And that should be the round. I think if you're Lithuania here, you should just save. There's no point trying to give a 5-on-3 a go. You know you've done a bit of damage, but get out of there. Keep hold of these guns. You don't have long-term economy. 3 staying alive means you can rebuy. Any less, no chance. So North Macedonia, they bounce back and they answer back in towards their second gun round. In response to Lithuania, and it's a really solid one. That's much better compared to the previous.
Yeah, maybe just, again, tweaking things from the previous round, slightly better approach. Utility a bit cleaner, not as panicked or rushed from them, really. They do well to recognize that they're on a timer. You know, there is this player coming in behind. That's something that they have to contend with. Maybe some exits as Magilla is buried in all the orange over there. He will actually go down, though. Maybe
that's not what you
him
want,
to
actually
survive. Yeah, I think Spartus would have bought.
Yep.
And then the rest join in, but
3 staying alive means a buy. 2 staying alive means actually you probably eco around it. Maybe an upgrade a pistol or 2.
Yeah.
Looks like, yeah, they are going to go for that half buy. MP9. So Spartus leaves with kind of 2k, which means he can buy in towards the next. That's unfortunate. They could have easily had 4 guns in towards this round with Spartus' investment.
Spartus on the edge of the smoke here. They seem to know about him. Decent nade. But there is some damage done to aid kit, so tit for tat at the moment. Where is that first kill going to come in? It again remains pretty... Yes, Anubis is kind of winding things down. They're going to go pushing in towards Con. Pretty dry. Oh, the AWP comes in. That's almost a twofer as well. He's definitely hit 2 players with 1 bullet. So double your money on that, and now they've got a decision to make. North Macedonia actually looking to follow in the footsteps of their fallen teammates here and try and thread the needle, which they have.
Yeah.
The rotations are Going to leave this B-bomb site super vulnerable. 8kit does get caught. He's not got the support there, so he is also getting ahead of himself. But they're still not moving off of A.
Yeah. We're peeking dry. Oh, we're peeking dry. I don't like this call. I mean, this goes back to what I was saying. 8kit loves to be the entry AWPer, but going on your own in that sort of spot, I don't love that call. Still could be doable, but Ryu hits 2 nice shots, both of which to see it off at the end. A fantastic round. 4 kills to his name. I think that round all falls apart actually with 8kit going alone there. If 8kit goes to support, it's probably fine, but the fact that he's solo, and also it's like it's such a common angle to clear, which he does ineffectively.
Well, yeah, it's pretty lazy clear.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. Very, very sloppy in that sense. So a timeout going to be called by Lithuania. They're going to have a conversation, but they're in a great spot. You know, there's a double AK picked up and an AWP. Fantastic for them. Sure, North Macedonia can reinvest in, but I mean, yeah, they're going to be left reeling a little bit. That was a real sloppy round.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things. Just got to bring the discipline a bit tighter. Don't be too overconfident. If he just waits another maybe 5 seconds, it does feel like a lifetime in Counter-Strike. But
that's like
even
40
then,
seconds on the clock as well. It feels like
no rush.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, it's questionable in hindsight. Thinking, why did we actually slightly panic in a way there?
Yeah.
Either way, first time we get to see the AWP v AWP in this series. As 8kit can reinvest into one of his own. If this boost is done wrong, a foot can show, which could cost Danny his life. So he needs to be very careful. 8kit just waiting for a push.
Smart.
No, yeah, this is all right. But Magila gets out as well. Neno unable to kind of punish as well. Magila waiting for the swing as well. Doesn't want to try and shoot through the wall. Flash will come. And he actually repositions. And then he gets punished. Tresson, great find.
It's a really good trade. I think they were in such a good spot. And then Danny went again for kind of a lazy peek round the corner to give that first kill away. They were using their own AWP to clear the channel so that they could push down the side unseen. So that is a really big trade. Bemis though looking good from camera as they will reaggress and regain control of middle. Certainly a game on our hands here, folks, as it continues being back and forth. Kimar in for a couple. He could find another. It's all on this flank. Spartus on the backside, the bomb control that they have, so just waiting for that flank, and there's nothing that he can really do about it. That does make it costly, though. Yeah, nice couple of kills, but, you know, we're talking about costly, and money's not exactly fantastic now to North Macedonia, so they actually probably have to take a bit of a lower buy in this one. Maybe we can hero AK with Kimar if we want to, and that's something obviously a lot of Tier 2 teams do like to bring to the table. But they should be Lithuania finding the lead back in their favor. And it does feel like North Macedonia squandered a couple of opportunities, and more than anything, you're looking at this map as a whole, and we're actually expecting Lithuania to be better on the T side, right? So the fact that they're actually not looking too shabby on this CT already is pretty positive signs for Lithuania as a whole. And maybe we're North Macedonia, you're thinking, oh, this is, you know, actually potentially quite concerning. BMAS, he got legged in that previous round, and then was able to get 2 kills off the back of it. They weren't able to see him off. If they were able to confirm that kill, they might have changed that round entirely with that mid pop. But that's all in hindsight. Spartus just going to go for a peek out towards B main. Nothing there for him. So it is that lower buy, not even the hero AK brought out for North Macedonia. Are there going to be any headshots here for the Deagles? Lithuania playing patiently themselves. Molotov towards Con. That's all we get so far. The Deagles looking to group up. They have found space in middle. And that is actually the area that is lacking for the CTs. They've obviously got eyes on it, but it's letting them get dangerously close. And they are worried about maybe someone coming in from behind, and now going to start to rotate round. Got to be careful, got to play this well. Nice flash comes in, but there's so many round that corner. A missed shot from the AWP here as well. This looks pretty scary now. M4 picked up. No one's got armor, so not going to be the best weaponry. They stick to the Deagles, and they walk into a meat grinder here. Ryu with 3, setting up Spartus. Easy stuff in the end. It looked kind of dangerous for just a moment, but they will clean up.
Well, Danny on his own. Might be a consolation kill brewing, but it's just a tag onto Jugas. And that will be Lithuania back in front for the first time in a while now as well. Since, well, all the way back towards that pistol. In a really decent spot to do so. That was a low buy though, so we reinvest back in, and we do have money to work with to allow for A-Kit to go back into the AWP, and it feels like they kind of need it. Magila, well, he's not running away in terms of the numbers, he's actually doing a lot in terms of supporting Utah and actually gaining a lot of information with that AWP and setting up the rifles. They need to put pressure onto him, but also pressure onto a few of these guys that are stepping up. Ryu, much too easy for him to get 3 there. No real trade, and seeing BMAS having a lot of impact himself. Magila looking out towards water. Nothing gained just yet. Looks like setting up for this pop.
Again, middle though.
Yeah.
Remains not necessarily vulnerable, but just directly unguarded. Yeah, and in a round like this, that's kind of all it takes. Smoke goes down, and now all of a sudden you have no eyes. Moving in through water. It's a double crunch from A main as well.
Oh.
Spam is pretty good there. That actually softens them a little. Magilla moves back in towards the B-bomb site.
He's got the right idea.
Yeah, he knows what's up. I mean, they've gathered so much info everywhere else. They do have this man coming in behind via Temple, so just got to maybe keep an eye out for that. But the re-smoke, that's going to be awkward. Info gained of Con, but timing is brilliant. He's kept himself safe from main, right? He can take that peak, and now they'll just go swinging into him. Very dry indeed, not looking too good. I mean, smoke comes down, but it's kind of too little too late. He's already found 2 kills. He's fought so much time there.
Ooh.
Scared to cross in. Ryu does fall. Plant will happen. There's no spam damage. The plant is behind the site, which is maybe a little awkward for the post plant. But actually, as they start to get another player back there, this could be a really, really difficult retake. 4 coming in from Con. Really awkward. They do have bits of utility to work with here. But man, you've got this player in deep CT. Danny could play the bomb perfectly if he gets a bit of help from his teammates, thin the numbers ever so slightly. Could be a game changer here. A-Kit on the edge of the smoke will actually be the final player. It's a team killing from Spartus, but he just can't stop killing.
Yeah.
Get out of the way of the hose. And a big find there from Lithuania.
Yeah, brilliant. Really, really nice retake. I think it all starts with Magila. Both of those shots that they hit are actually really quite impressive. It's such a good kind of foresight. Like you mentioned, they gathered so much information. They had such a solid knowledge of what was going to be happening in that round, and it was just all coming down to, can we actually clip a couple of people early in this round, set ourselves up with the numbers advantage, and they do. So, great work. North Macedonia, second tack pause call for them, and I think understandable. They're really actually looking quite all over the place now, and not what you want to be seeing. Falling very flat when it's mattering most. This could be Lithuania building up quite the lead to see off the end of their CT side, no less, before going into what many people talk about being the preferential T side. Macedonia, looks like getting into round number 11, we will get a buy out in place. Of course, bomb plant plus loss bonus will allow for that, generally speaking. Somebody might have to take a hit. Looks like it will be Kimar with the Galil. And same for Neno, in fact. So, triple AK set up. And Danny doesn't have any util. He gets dropped over a smoke, and that's as good as it gets for him.
Bemis will give it up quickly, however. Not feeling too confident. Bemis will give it up quickly, however. Not feeling too confident with that hold. They're going to rotate with that hold. They're going to rotate pretty quickly, pretty heavily towards A.
In a spot where, you know, you'll be so surprised if they don't find A. And this, I know it sounds super early to say, but it does just feel like the beginning of the end. Like, Lithuania have really warmed up in towards this game, and it feels like they keep getting better and better and better. And the fact that it's on what is traditionally, as we saw yesterday against Poland, being their weaker side of the CT is actually a really positive sign for Lithuania.
Yeah, maybe sharpening things up a little in the hotel room and the practice spaces.
Leg spotted.
So, yeah, he didn't see him, but
I think it's actually quite smart here from Magila. He spotted the leg, but generally when you're jiggle peeking like that, it means there's a player close, which is why he's actually falling back.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he didn't take that fight early in towards water. So it's a decent
world.
Distract. Especially without a smoke as well. They very easily could have actually pushed forward through water in towards Cubby, and they're waiting. So I think that's smart from Magila. Just fall back. He doesn't need to be too aggressive here. And they've also got to know that no bomb plant flawless round, their money's not great.
Yeah, very disciplined here from the CT side. I think they're also feeling like they are sort of above expectations at the moment.
Wow.
However, Danny, nice and crisp. Doesn't even take a bullet, so he's super fast on those 2 headshots. Oh, the orb in a dangerous spot now as well. Can't stay alive. I mean, the shots were there for him. He had time to take them, just couldn't quite land them. It's going to be on to these A players to pick the round back up. They will, of course, go for it. Oh, that's about as clean as it gets. 7-5 at the half then. It's not awful, but you can see a pretty solid run coming in from Lithuania. I think they'll be happy with the way that they've performed there, especially, again, given because this is maybe not the map that they were expected to take. But looking very, very good indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. You know, in the way it's still in which Lithuania, despite losing that final round, I still like what I saw coming forward from them. I think, you know, they're a side for me who actually now really do look in a spot where we can actually build upon this. And now heading in towards the T side, this is where you expect them to do a lot of the best work. You know, if any of you kind of caught yesterday when on the main stage against Poland, the CT side was generally actually their weaker port of call, and the T side looked really solid. They worked as a pack, worked as a unit. They were difficult to break down as well. And on the flip side, you look at kind of this North Macedonia side now, while 3 out of 5 actually played together quite consistently with Akit, Danny, and Stressen, you know, the old Blue Jays team and all the rest. Even still, it's what is this setup going to look like? How much practice do they actually have together within the last kind of, I guess, few months or so?
Sure.
It does still beg that question of how solid is this going to look? We're on the way, though, in towards the pistol. Stressen going to get 2 before Spartas finally trades him out. And it's Jugas who drops Neto in towards backside. Now back into a raw 3 versus 3 here, and this is already a little interesting. I mean, they're not committed. They're actually going to completely pull away.
So it's a great position for Magilla to be in. I think he might have been towards mid, heard all this action going down on A. He's looked for a different avenue, give his teammate a way out. And they will indeed use it. The beauty of Anubis, right? There's so many different paths that you can take. He's not got in deep is the one thing. He just gets control of the B bomb site, so he's not able to deny rotations, getting into good spots. They're still going to feel pretty confident.
Oh.
Quick headshot, quick finish. Down to just 2 now on the CT side. Danny has been looking crisp, of course. All down to the 1 versus 1, but the Glock up close. Always going to have that advantage and just about skin of their teeth stuff, but North Macedonia will get it done.
Yeah, different beast when it comes towards those Glocks up close, but that's a really, really big pistol to be taken.
Sure.
You know, we're talking about starting well in towards the half, getting the T-set on the way, but also actually now where you have pretty formulated by bomb plant, all 5 found. The CT side as well, they've got to essentially gamble. Is it worth taking the risk of going for a force buy here? And I think generally, you know, I don't like it, but they're actually in a really quite tough spot. We're falling quite far behind. Momentum's not in our favor. We've actually probably got to get to the point of considering saying, is it worth taking the gamble here and going for an MP9 buy? We like to call it the Furia buy, basically go double MP9s to kickstart the buys in towards the second half. And I think actually that might be the play here for Lithuania.
Sure.
You're kind of at a spot now where you're, over the North Macedonia, you're in a spot where it's talking about we're already kind of losing control of this game. And it's also, you know, a point where if we don't take a gamble and win, as in all fairness, what we saw the second round of this game, right? It was a gamble on a force buy after a lost pistol, but it worked. I think you've got to just try and respond and fight fire with fire. If you don't, I think, you know, if you try and play as a default, you go 4 rounds behind, you lose that one. 5, 6 rounds behind, it's done at that point.
Yeah, looking pretty tough for sure. And I think that, you know, it does feel somewhat of a surprise because North Macedonia, we were quietly confident in them coming into it, but I don't know, man. The Lithuania team looking pretty crisp.
Looking sharp.
You know, those individuals that maybe have some more international experience, some more high-level experience, little tastes of, I think, are doing a really, really good job.
I think it's also as well, you know, it's recent experience. As much as, like, you know, you look at like Akit, Danny, Stressen, that they played like a really good level in Tier 2, but it was like a year and a half ago now. It's been a while since we've seen, you know, that Blue Jays roster, you know, what was previously known as earlier, as well, when they first came on the scene. You know, it's actually been a hot minute now since they were like a real force to be reckoned with. We were in kind of Tier 2, but you look at people like Jugas, of course, like, you know, recent form for him has actually been fantastic. Ryu, he's had his stints playing kind of actually at a fairly decent kind of level, especially because Monty had been giving him chances in the main team. So yeah, it's interesting. And even individuals like Magilla and Spartas, they've actually been kind of slowly kicking it here and there. Magilla's been around. He's played in a few mixed teams, and he's been, you know, kicking it in these qualifiers. So it's like one of those things where you make the argument that maybe the ceiling, so to say, for people like AK, Stress on Danny was actually quite high, but it's just been so long since we've kind of seen them as a regular fixture compared to people like Ryu with both Monty and Monty Gen. You know, he's been around a while. BMAS is probably the exception of where, obviously, for name value, quite high, but he hasn't been playing in kind of like Team CS. He, from what I understand, he's been playing a couple of these, like, you know, he's been playing open quals and mixers, and they kind of just sort of pug it a little bit. But
the homies.
Even still, recent experience. A little tech pause. Looks like we lost somebody from Lithuania, but we've got him back in. So match medics come into play, and that means we can get this show back on the road. 9-5, though. Like I said, I just think it's worth.
Did we maybe? I think we missed a round as well, actually.
Yeah, I think you are right. There's an AK in play for Neno, so we must have
so
missed
we were
a round.
7-5. They won the pistol.
Yeah.
Now we're 9-5. So maths was never my strong suit, but
yeah, just working that one off. Yeah.
Pretty sure we missed the round.
7.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. There's a number in between there.
Yeah. 7, 8, 9.
Well,
that's why he was scared.
Yeah. Classic.
So yeah, it looks like we did miss a round, and well, a predictable one it feels in a sense. It's Lithuania pulling further and further away. Spartas will kickstart things. And 0-4, and then that was the AK as well, and it's money for the MAC-10 as Ryu gets 2.
Looking good, B-bomb site, right for the taking. Got this 5-7 in the back lines, but he's actually been pushed away and just looking for kind of an exit, probably really hoping that he can get his hands onto that AK that was outside main. I feel like it's been retrieved by now by one of these players, so not really going to happen for him, just an aggressive exit perhaps, or maybe even because he's not taken any damage, get himself Kevlar into the next round, free of charge.
5-7 is all we're bringing in. Half armor, not a great spot. And unfortunately, this is feeling like it's the beginning of the end there. 10-5 for Lithuania. And North Macedonia looking very flat. Oh my god, AK, he might just stay alive here. MAC-10, he gets around the corner. So, buys coming through. Looks like a double orb setup as well. Actually, refund will come through from Danny. I was going to say that would be a little rogue double orb setup. Yeah, that is a real Hail really Mary. Yeah, exactly. But 10-5 Lithuania, they're looking fantastic. Their map pick. They're feeling like such a strong side right now, and this is a bonus buy as well. So even if they weren't to win this one, but they find kind of, you know, some kills make economy expensive, that in itself might be a small little win. AK, okay. Sit down, Sunshine. Jugas, he must have not had head armor. Jugas one-taps him at range. Great shot. Spartas, he'll get caught, but a flying MAC-10 ineffective. Makila hits the way to put pressure on, and Makila makes it a double. So that goes huge. Numbers advantage now for Lithuania and bomb down.
Somehow got him behind. He is certainly the wild card player of that round. Looked like a very, very deadly setup if they continued with like the conventional attack, but he's done a great job, Makila, there. We'll see if it pays off. Neno coming in through main, flash to him. It's ineffective, goodness gracious. Yeah, super crisp hit from Lithuania. We'll see how long that continues. I mean, 4 in a row now for them on this T side. Are they going to finish flawlessly? Will they keep this going?
I mean, it feels like it's kind of done already, doesn't it, now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, you see in North Macedonia and the investment come through, I actually don't think that's a bad idea. Just what we've got to do is you're 11-5 down on your opponent's map pick. This is a considerably much better showing from this Lithuania side compared to even yesterday. And I know, you know, it was dominant, especially map number 1, but Poland on a great side. Yeah, exactly. Poland on a great side. And it looked like they were a little sloppy in some of their approaches. This feels a lot better, a lot more formulaic in terms of how they're looking. So I'm liking what I see.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to push through water here. Oh, he's got to be careful. He's got the bomb. Does get one, not expecting the second. That's going to be the bomb spilled in kind of an awkward spot. The eyes of Danny as well, prying for it, but then there's a guy out on B that he's just not expecting at all, so it's kind of an all-over-the-place round from Lithuania in particular. Neno remains alone, 60 HP. I mean, they could easily pick up the bomb and go A, because they've got McGilla over there, so, you know, it is, like I say, very, very confusing stuff here. Hard to deal with. Neno, here's one in at con, but not much that he can do about that at the moment. Was hoping for a catch, unfortunately going to be spotted, so feels like
bad flash.
A non-opportunity here. 5 HP, doesn't happen for him. 12-5, and that's surely got to be the lock-in now.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. This feels like it's done. Well, it is done. It's 5 in a row for Lithuania here on this T side. North Macedonia have just fallen so unbelievably flat. Yeah, you hate to say it, but it's just the truth of the matter. Just so little really on offer. A massive buffer zone for Lithuania to close this out. We do get a buy and play for North Macedonia, but we're talking about MP9. FAMAS that have to come to the table, and actually Utah being quite limited towards this CT side. So if they're forced into a retake, they're actually in trouble. They got one smoke, now no smokes for the rest of this round. That's not what you want to see when we're talking about a retake. We've got one kit in play as well for Kimar. So best of luck.
Yeah, they need an early kill. That's maybe what they were hoping for with all that utility expenditure. But it doesn't come. Lithuania again playing a pretty good game here, and as we mentioned, much cleaner from them. Neno in the corner here. Can be a bit of a tough angle, yeah, for the T's to deal with. Through that smoke, he gets himself a double over there. Can the team capitalize on his success? Mid locked out. They lose one in A main, so it's not over quite yet. I think maybe the bomb spilled with these two players that went down. I can't quite see on the minimap. Same. Vardas is here. Gets the comms that there was another around. It's still a different name, so he's ready and waiting for Neno. The only one to find any kills in that round, and everybody else will let him down. So Lithuania, they clean up house, and they will indeed take that first map.
Yeah, I mean, my God. You know, at the start, it felt like we were brewing a little bit, saying North Macedonia in for an opportunity of taking their opponent's map pick, but there was actually very little on offer. When the guns came back in play and Lithuania started to build, that was a really, really good showing. I mean, what a way to start a series. It's your map pick as well. You got Ancient coming up next, and Ancient's just such a popular map within kind of the online Counter-Strike era right now. I mean, all expectations that the way they're playing, you know, regardless of maps, Lithuania just look considerably sharper. They look like a side who just have a little bit more of a game plan. They look a little bit more locked in. North Macedonia, very flat, very isolated in terms of the fights they were taking. It's not exactly the good signs that you want heading in towards a series, which, you know, has the potential of playoffs around the corner. So I think where we're at now, the way that North Macedonia are playing, this is looking like 2-0 Lithuania. They just look considerably better.
Yeah, absolutely. Learning some lessons from the stage, you know, taking that pressure, working with it, and now starting to form something pretty nice, actually. I think maybe keep your eyes on Lithuania. If they can keep playing like that with that same sort of crispness, it could be a very scary team. Headed into the playoffs, we're not quite there just yet, though. We'll see if there is a bounce back from North Macedonia in that next map. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with Ancient.
Andra, Sydflak, zemra zjarr. Në Kosovë, aty ku andrat nisën ekranet vogle. Ne u rritëm, për loja në mbetin zemër. Munësh me urzu. Munësh me u thy fituesit. Ata nuk din me u dorzu. Ata kapin majat, se synimi është veç nalt. Heronjt I takuem, e heronjt u banam vet. Në Kosovë, aty ku toka merr frym e andrat marrin hav. Hajde ta djegim arenën. Tash është koha me shkrujt emnin tan.
me kreitsus niinevat, edin skaame internet epakot telkuusit.
Telkos, das niin livet par.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back in. We are just about ready to get going here into map number 2, of course, North Macedonia up against Lithuania. Lithuania looking really quite sharp. I think we were expecting a closer showing, especially the way the game started, but they just turned it on, man. And the individuals seem pretty good. We've been chatting with some of the folks outside, and you know, it seems like they're really putting the hours into the pugs and the mechanical play and stuff like that. So going to get very, very interesting here to see whether North Macedonia can match up on Ancient.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just did not see enough from North Macedonia. They at the start of that map, it felt like we were having at least a bit of a conversation. Okay, you know, you chain a couple of rounds together, we can talk about taking this map away, but man, they felt so flat. Ancient cut up next as well, and at least the vibe speaking to some of the North Macedonians here is that this is a much better map for them, but whether they can bring anything to the table after C, like you mentioned, I just think they look so sharp, Lithuania. They're just hitting shots. You know, Ryu's look fantastic. I think BMAS was quite consistent all the way, but it's Ryu actually first to fall. That's a quick shot. A-Kit flies into the fight, and he'll get his. And now, no, there's one backside. Magila, Jugas cracking heads, but Kim with a double dink will drop one. Looks for a second, but Magila's so quick himself. They can't even plant here. They're getting overwhelmed. One by one, they fall. And Lithuania, my God, they start as they mean to go on with some force.
Yeah, pretty clean stuff there to hold the fort. I mean, didn't look good in the beginning, losing that A main player, but maybe all part of the master plan. Really nice round there. Great to pick up the pistol and just pick up where you left off. You know, always feels good to keep it going. We'll see if they can keep some of that sharpness. We did catch them yesterday, of course, against Poland, who are a bit of a lesser team, let's say, just with who they fielded and whatnot. And I don't know, man, they did get overconfident in that second map, so hopefully that doesn't creep in here to allow North Macedonia to get their claws in, so to speak. But no bomb plant means no buy. They're going to hard eco this one out and just go for the early AKs.
Well, I think this is the right call. Get guns out as soon as possible. Elbows not going to come through, though. That'll at least nullify Aid Kit for now. He started well. A drive-by Glock. Felt like we might have a bit of movement brewing over towards the A side, but immediately shut down. Ryu up close here. Just one flash from him as well. Now there's contact being taken, but they're just going to go dry. They want to take these fights one by one and see what they can do. And my God, there's nothing on offer for the Pistols of North Macedonia. A second in a row for Lithuania. And this is good. You know, we're building up stability. We're getting econ in a fairly solid spot as well. And they're actually going to make the bold call. Oh, okay, maybe not. I was going to say they made the bold call to why buy an AWP at this point?
Stop you right there.
Yeah, there's no point. I was going to say play the bonus round. Like these bonus rounds, especially if you can win a bonus round, you elevate your stocks tenfold.
But they ought not to, so
that's the right call.
Maybe not fancying it, and yeah, I can kind of agree. Depends. Felt like a good spawn, something along those lines.
That's quick.
Seegers, early one for him. McGill going to go down in A main. He does a lot of damage, to be fair, so we'll see if anyone can capitalize on that. There falls the first. A few more looking pretty unhealthy as well. Nice find from Stressan. Maybe going to keep things even here. The smoke comes in. Ryu is straight through it, making all the noise. They've not really taken the A-bomb site, just a portion of it. So still some work to be done for the T side. They're going to wait patiently on the double stack here. Zegas does well to find a head before going down. And the combined HPs here not looking too good at all. Sparta's also low. Ryu is the unknown factor. He gets one, but he's traded. The 1v1 feels pretty good, to be honest. Neno opts to go in for the frag rather than getting that bomb plant. I think just seen his elbow, doesn't quite fancy it. So going to fake things out, try and draw him in. It's clever, and he lands the spray down. Rifle goes the way of North Macedonia. A great start then.
That's a round they really needed. That was very, very scrappy. I think actually right now the only real downside to Lithuania that we've seen in these opening 3 rounds, they actually need to be a little bit more passive over towards Temple, over towards main, may I say. They're trying to fight. You know, we saw Magila fall early. We saw Ryu in the pistol round go down. I actually think probably now let's play a little bit more of a default setup. Maybe have one in towards Deep Temple holding, or somebody on towards Plat boosted up. Maybe somebody back box. But let's just give them that space. It feels like right now this fight in towards main is not working on that A site. North Macedonia, they're going to call for an early attack timeout though, and I rate the idea. You know, you've won a round, you've now kind of figured out right what's worked, but also at the same time, it actually really wasn't a convincing round, if I'm being frank. The fact that it comes down to such a close 1 versus 1 doesn't really ensue that much confidence in the team just yet. So this is probably a decent time to call it and say, all right, cool, we've got to start here. Now let's build on this. This is what we're going to do. This is where we're finding gaps. So I think this is a decent call. And why not use them, right? I feel like one of the things North Macedonia, they were using a couple of these tag timeouts towards that previous map, and they were so ineffective.
Early utility out. Not much pace from North Macedonia. 2 in middle here for the CT side, so they're looking to try and abuse that. A good catch onto Neno. Kind of a late push even. They were already into Donut, and then they decided to go for a reaggress. So pretty clever stuff, see what they can get away with. Another case of that as Spartus goes a bit too deep, bites off a bit too much. 2 in towards Donut, looking to get overwhelmed here. Bemis holds 1. Can he get another? They're after him. He does indeed. So the double down is pretty important. With Kimar being low, makes the round look good. The CT side, we've got Magilla here fast. There's a kit available on Ryu. It's pretty far away. Magilla going early here. Got to be careful. He's spotted. It's not commed super cleanly. Little awkward here. Lots of damage done, but the kill's still not quite coming in for the CT side. They have to keep it together. Tap on the bomb. Try and draw somebody out. They're smoking towards main as well. They're not peeking in. It's pretty ballsy from the North Macedonia boys. They remain isolated, and Magilla thought he'd cleared it, but no, he was hidden away round the corner. It's all going to be on Ryu. He doesn't fancy his chances, and he starts to slowly back away. North Macedonia string them together to even up.
Unfortunately, the one big error there, and it comes from Magilla. He smokes main instead of smoking the bomb. You've got a kit.
Yeah,
you should smoke the bomb there.
That's true.
And he actually does it panicked, flustered. You know, he's not finding that fight over towards main. He's getting the information, but he's not getting near enough to get the kill, and that's actually the thing that really cost him that round. If he smokes the bomb, and even they're just tapping it, that will force them to actually re-engage. It will force them to expose themselves a little bit, and that's where you can punish. But just by smoking main, it means a donut player can just sit. He doesn't need to actually do anything. So tough, real tough one to let kind of slip like that. But credit to North Macedonia, they get away with a bit of a fortunate one. It comes again down to, in a way, slight over fighting. You know, do we need to be pushing shelf there? In a way, I feel like no. Right, Kimar's given a freebie. I think BMAS does well, sure, but he's so isolated. Lithuania, it's coming back to sort of what we said against Poland. Maybe didn't see as much towards map number 1, but the CT side generally is a little weaker, just a little bit more disjointed. Oh, it's a nice find. Kim on the jump peak, gets caught, boosted up.
Yeah, exactly what you got to do with this saved M4.
They can recollect that gun as well.
I think that's maybe what they're after a little bit. They do have a man in cubby. Made it in quite deep. I like what they're doing as well. The M4 reveals itself on B, and then super dynamic. He's not stopped moving since getting that kill, just trying to clear as much as possible and hopefully force a few more fights. They are actually edging towards B here and fancying it as a site of choice. Magilla gets in. It's the worst timing. He was just switching up. Meanwhile, hidden away in the corner here is the USP.
Big flank.
He's going to let them cross. Oh, it's a nice find from Spartus. Could really do well for them here. Patience from Zegas. He could deny the bomb plant. That's what he's looking for. Exactly what he does. Where's the AK? He's not got long enough arms. It's unfortunate. Ryu, meanwhile, in behind with this strong weapon as well. They're just playing it patiently. I think they know what is up. CT area is kind of cleared, so Stress on does well. Patient play, and the man walks into his crosshair.
Yeah, that was close though, and actually quite expensive for what was a minimal investment. So, you know, maybe if we talk about silver linings and bring up all these kind of buzzwords I talk about, that's actually not terrible from Lithuania. But they have lost the lead now, so gonna have to work to kind of get this back in control. It's a long word, that one.
Yeah.
It's like 20 plus characters.
Yeah, that's pretty... I got, like, communication. I don't know what the rest of it is. I'm not gonna lie.
Big word, and Will. Looking for a big performance in response now. The Lithuania have the guns in play. M4s across the board. Oh, my God. Early damage dealt, though, to both Ryu and BMAS. And BMAS, smart call just to fall back. We don't need to stick around to fight. And damage is being dealt elsewhere.
Oh, okay. Zegas with the double in towards mid there. It's kind of out of nowhere, so hopefully they can do something with that. Molotov's going to spread to him. It's unfortunate. He goes down. So they'll get one back, and certainly a few well-placed bullets or spams could turn the tide here for both sides, in fact. So where is that going to come? North Macedonia in particular looking to just keep this lead and snatch a round like this away. It would be a really big deal for their ancient campaign. But at the moment, not really looking too good. A full bail on B from Lithuania, kind of interesting.
Yeah, I like this kind of pack mentality, though. All these like kind of staying in pairs. I say that, though. Spartus is pulling away to man the B site himself. Or Magila, he's in the back lines. He's not really looking towards Jag just yet. He needs to. Those two players set up there. Not quite the gap on the smoke, but Spartus now has support. And the bomb is still trying to cross here. This is still a really awkward spot they're in, and they're taking chip damage too. So known quantity. Bomb will try to go down, but it technically
nice
could have been denied before that molly comes through. Makila, he'll still push. He'll get one of his own as well. Bomb still not planted. Time ticking. 13 seconds. We've got to go. North Macedonia is now a 1 versus 3. This is surely done and dusted here. They cannot win this round. Spartans just needs to play patience, and he'll be fine. Even though he falls, time is gone. So the round cannot be won. And he goes down just off the time, right? Oh, actually, no. I think
looks like
might.
he did get the loss bonus in.
2.7, so yeah, he must have. That was about half a second, but good response, Lithuania.
Yeah, tough one. Tough one. It's Magilla, isn't it? He gets through ramp, drops that bomb. Yes, he gets traded, but Neno, unfortunately, selling it down the river a little, maybe. Hard to say. He was inside of smoke. I don't know if the Magilla was walking like the whole way or something like that, but all the same, Lithuania at a pretty key moment. They deny the bomb plan as well. The money is not really good, therefore. So timeout, rightfully so, for North Macedonia. These early rounds are going to be important for setting the pace.
Yeah, well, let's see. I think for North Macedonia, now burning 2. I didn't mind the early one called, 3 rounds in, but 2 being burned within kind of the first 7 does put you in a spot now where it's like, if things are going awry in that second half, you don't have a lot of opportunities to slow it down or ice out your opponent. So I think there's been a lot of precedent by North Macedonia being put on their T side, which I actually think is very valid. And I think both sides realize that the T side is where they do a lot of their best work, just because if you are a little bit more of a mixier kind of side in a sense, you are relying a bit more on your T side being quite, I guess, loose in a sense, but where a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of your round score is going to come from. We're going to go for the force buy coming through here for North Macedonia. This is a bold call, right? Stressing in towards an AK-47. Mac 10 for Kimon and upgraded pistols along the rest. This is not make or break, but it's really important for this first half. If North Macedonia lose this, they lose the lead, but actually it's where Lithuania can get to a point of really building up a nice little buffer zone as they did in towards map number 1. So it's a really bold call to go for this force buy with that hero AK. I don't know if I actually really love it either, but I guess we'll see in hindsight at the end of the round.
Yeah, they need a good plan. And I don't know, with this lack of utility in particular, what that plan is going to be. Get a man in towards cave quite early. Varda's happy to take the fight. Neno trying to get a cheeky headshot, doesn't land for him. Deep ramp, that smoke's maybe a little too deep though. Danny on the edge of it, thinking about doing something. Magilla spots a fair few. Yeah, there's a few cheeky moments being taken here. Ramp completely abandoned, by the way. They are looking to again
stack, by the way,
get aggressive in the cave. We'll see if this pans out for them. And then again, they're pulling away.
What's happening?
Very, very unsure of themselves right now on the CT side.
Yeah. I mean, also, in a way, it kind of feels like for that C side too, right? They don't really know where to commit. I mean, bombs over towards Shelf. It's slightly tempted by the idea. I mean, they can't go mid is the only issue. Jugas, was holding from Red Room. He's actually given up that control, and now this is where Stressen and this AK can start up. Look, Stressen, right idea, wrong execution. MP down up close, going 1-4-1. Mac 10 on the trade, needs this second, and actually we'll get it with the support of the Tech 9 as well. Jugas is low. He gets one before falling. It's Ryu for 2. That give Lithuania the lead. It's maybe a little closer than Lithuania would have won when they look in hindsight, comparing the firepower brought to the table, but it's a massive round to take. You've broken the econ of this North Macedonian side. You've guaranteed a lead, and you should be taking a 2-round buffer.
And again, denying bomb plants.
Yes.
Right? This is kind of the key thing at the moment, that Lithuania are keeping North Macedonia at arm's length in a lot of these rounds because there's no bomb plants, there's no injection of that $600. So pretty solid defenses at the moment. Another hard eco coming in from North Macedonia, trying to find a cheeky one. Bemis is the guy with the grin on his face right now, I'm sure. There you go.
Nice shot.
Deagle in. Oh, dangerous. Do not give the repeats. I would advise against it. Ryu, close battle there. Couple of Deagle shots ringing off. I mean, the HP bars are dropping, man. The kill's just not quite coming in. There you go. And that's also some money made for Danny. I mean, you got to be careful. You've got to be very careful. Now that there's an automatic weapon in play,
there's an AK recoverable, right?
I believe so. If they want to go for it, yeah, it looks like they're going to pull away. Maybe. No, into cave. Okay. Gets interesting from here. You can feel a bit of tension in the defense. Unsure of what to do, and they're also thinking about maybe putting their resources elsewhere.
It's kind of all on Jugas, I feel. I mean, they're so low on that T side that getting out anywhere feels super unlikely. Thankfully, Jugas is pretty proactive. Molly goes down, that'll see him off. Jugas, well played. He actually needed to do a lot of heavy lifting, and he does, thankfully. Well, in the end, trying to get the AK over to Jugas won't be the case. Doesn't matter, though. Lithuania, 2-round buffer, and a rebound that comes back in for North Macedonia, but you lose this, and we're talking about now, again, where then things become a little funky. You lose this, Lithuania get a 6th, they probably get gifted the 7th as well, and at that point, we're then starting to have that quite stark conversation saying, is this actually the beginning of the end? While it's really early in this map generally, just how Counter-Strike 2 works and MR30, you've got to be so careful.
And the way I feel Lithuania have been playing, right?
Yes,
all tournament long, from what we've seen, they have been more of a ramp-up team. The first few rounds can be a bit rough, and maybe they just have to check themselves, see what they can get away with in terms of the aggression and stuff like that.
Once they figure out their opponent as well, they just understand like their timings, their defaults. They're really adaptable, which actually I think for
it's good.
For a side like this, you know, a little bit mixy in a sense, it's actually really quite commendable. It's
kind of like half and half, it feels.
Yeah,
you know?
it's something that, like, you know, you see a lot of the high-level teams that can adapt on the fly, but that's because the synergy and stuff is so high. Oh my God, Neno gets tagged down to 12. Just one tag gets dinged.
He's like brilliant.
That's so unfortunate.
Cheers. Yeah, what can I do about that? McGiller in behind here. Yeah, going to take him round the wall as well. So just an unfortunate round for Neno in general. Flashes clean. Second, not so much. But he does get traded. Degas to the back of the site here. Also dealt with, but the numbers just look good at the moment. Stress on. Left in the clutch, and there you are. Some of that discipline kind of coming in. Ryu doesn't take it wide. Pays him the respect. Lets his teammate get the kill.
It's going from bad to worse, unfortunately. For North Macedonia here. I mean, that's our 4 rounds in a row for Lithuania. As I said, you know, you win that, you basically kind of get gifted the 7th too. And the reason why we say you get gifted the 7th is because, coming back to a point that you've brought up a few times now, North Macedonia are not getting bomb plants. That's the one thing that's denying them that ability to really kind of reinvest in quite consistently. With Lost Runners, as long as you get bomb plants, you can pick up AKs more or less every single round. That's not the case at the moment for this T-side. Stresson tries to go through the molly, try something quick, instantly put in his place. Ryu as well puts AK 6 feet under, so very quickly this low buy being put to bed. A gift for Spartus as well as, well, unfortunately, Neno just in no man's land. Kimor seen by the nade, pistol round, non-existent.
Yeah, not happening. I mean, even rounds like this, not coming close anymore.
And it's one of those things, like, you know, the fact that these rounds are being sorted in like 15 seconds, it's kind of worrying, like, in a way.
Yeah, dangerous.
Danny. No chance, just pure panic. He heard steps from elbow as well. It's like, what can you do? Oh, man. This is actually looking quite akin to the Poland game yesterday, where Poland, obviously, we knew there was like never really going to be any insight from them.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, the North Macedonian squad.
I feel like they're the favourites coming into this.
Yeah, I don't know. Based on what we saw yesterday and some of the names, I think Lithuania, they have some individually really solid players.
Yeah,
I think as well, in between teams for a lot of these guys, and they've just been plugging out their minds apparently.
Same for Stresson though. Was it top 5 in FBL
right
now?
True. Not quite feeling that, but trying to readapt into the
it comes back to
team
what we said, though. It's like, you know, this Lithuania side, like the individuals, especially Jugas and Ryu, McGill is another shout as well. They've actually had like really recent tier 2 experience, and like especially in the case of Ryu, like quite high level tier 2 experience. That's so invaluable in tournaments like this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kit going to get a clean trade into the 1 versus 2 now. Molly comes in, it'll buy some time, but the Flames can betray you. They're hard sometimes to see above, and Kit going to find the spray on the final as well. Big round from him, and some of that discipline that we've been praising Lithuania for just goes out the window for a second. You see, there's only 1 left. I could get this kill, easy peasy, and it's that moment there, isn't it? I think Zigas maybe needed to just hide after his molly for a moment.
Yeah, it's really sloppy from Magila as well. You know, the nade baits out your spot, and he's going quick, and he tries to fly. Sure. I think they're thinking that he gets lower than he is.
Just take a 50-50.
Yeah, he really wasn't actually that low. He'd taken 1 tag for like 27 points of damage. So it wasn't like loads. Lithuania going to call for a timeout. They want to make sure if they get an 8-4 here, I still think they're absolutely fine. If it is 7-5 though, this map does open back up a little bit. All it takes is 1 pistol to go wrong for Lithuania, and it's a very, very different story. So I think it's actually a good call to go for the timeout here, to take a bit of a breather, especially after the way in which they just lost that round. And they've actually given a bit of an inroad back to North Macedonian side. It was 5 in a row. They finally find success here on the T side. I think it's the final round of the half, though. Magila in towards the AWP. He did some decent work in map number 1 with it all up, so he's the only one. He's going to be having all the kind of free real estate at range as well.
All right, we'll see here. Pretty important round at the turn of the half. Magila, again, we see him all the time, apparently.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure there's many that are very, very sneaky. But we've seen quite a few failed nades on stream.
Yeah, normally they're kind of like whatever, like that HG might have softened on one, but like, they're just funny. Like,
I know, it's
so
just
like,
funny, yeah.
It's like little things I actually think would show maybe a bit more inexperience or kind of sloppiness in a sense. Great fire from Kimar.
Oh, nice Molotov though. Going to push him out. Down he goes to the hop, and there's a clap behind him. Where's that from? Where's that
shelf,
from?
I think,
yeah,
right?
I suppose so. That's absolutely wild. Bemis as well holds his line in at middle as they try and burst. It's just Kit with, you know, a lovely bit of control. The bomb is absolutely miles away. He gets a double spray down.
Don't give it to him again.
Oh my God, what a mess of a round. But it's all it takes, just one collat and the world goes to hell. Has he seen it? I mean, he's just flying in, yeah, looking for the kill. 8-4 at the turn of the half. So Lithuania, I think, again, going to be happy with the way that things go there. A little bit of a different story. I think CT side is more recoverable than a weak Anubis T side, if you're following what I'm saying.
Sure.
But yeah, all the same, Lithuania is still looking like a better squad than maybe we were expecting in this matchup. Yeah,
I mean, really starting to show themselves a bit of a dark horse as well. It looks like that playoffs is more or less kind of getting guaranteed at this point. Unfortunately for North Macedonia, they are just falling so flat when it matters most. I mean, the individuals aren't stepping up, which is never a good sign, but also it just looks like, you know, the buzzwords we like to say of synergy and cohesion, they're just not there, which actually credit to Lithuania. You can actually tell that they've at least been, like, you know, playing a bit of Faceit together, or a little bit of MM, a little bit of Prac here and there, because they've actually got a few small protocols here and there, flashing for each other, the timing, sticking as a pack, the way in which they're going for pushes. They've got decent ideas, and the default setups are actually looking relatively quite strong. So now as heading towards the T side, we keep saying this with these more mixier teams, the T side is actually where they do a lot of their heavy lifting and a lot of their best work. That's where we're actually kind of concerned for North Macedonia. You know, they're heading onto CT. You can tell they're not really playing that much together either.
Sure.
Not a good sign.
Sure. Well, we'll see now, moving into the CT side.
This pistol could be make or break, by the way. You know, if they don't win this, North Macedonia, I think that's it.
And it doesn't look too good thus far because there's no one really on the B-bomb site. The one player that is there gets smoked off. Yikes. So they're in really, really deep here. First kill goes their way. Bomb has been planted. No kit available. Don't think one's been dropped there, and they're just going to start charging forwards now on the Glocks. Looking good. Stressan does get one, but he's going to have to rely on a bailout from the rest of the team. We do have the Julies. They're always capable of multiple kills out of nowhere. Is that going to be one of the times? I don't even get the sentence out, and the round is over. So really big find there. No sweat off the brow. Just one player going down for Lithuania. It's a great way to kick things off into the second half. Now if they can survive what comes next, whether it is a force or an early rifle, they're in a very, very good spot. We could be looking 11-4, maybe 12 on the cards if they take down the M4s, as it looks like it will be.
I mean, in this spot, again, come back to, I don't like force buys, but I actually think you've got to gamble here.
Yeah, he's so deep in the hole.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are we really gaining by giving them a 10th, but then buying back in? You know what I mean? Like, the run required for you is, I mean, it's so difficult. So, let's see. I'm not going to complete this countdown, but maybe this Deagle of AK has got to do a fair decent amount of heavy lifting. 9-4 should be made 10 without breaking that much of a sweat. Man alive. Credit to Lithuania, man. They've actually looked quite excellent.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. Maybe yesterday, giving them a clean confidence boost, because it was an elimination game yesterday.
Yes,
so they've not started the tournament super well, but seem to be coming into their own. Nice little Deagle headshot. Are there any more to go along with that, though? And, I mean, that might just be, this is a dangerous round now for Lithuania. They're moving in to a stack. Yes, the smokes are out, but they're going to get overwhelmed. Got to be very careful. So many USBs spamming down. It's just Ryu on this lurking position with 3 to find. The bomb in the hands of the enemy. Guns recovered as well. It's not hop, skip, and a jump to assume that he is in cave. 35 seconds left remain on the clock. He doesn't have many choices available to him, but he's going to have to try and make the correct one. There is a gun trained on him at the moment. I think he's a little bit spotted here. He does get it. USP falls flat, but it's aid kit in from ramp with that strong AK to secure the round, and a very, very unlikely take there.
Yeah, nothing really brought to the table at all, bar a Deagle for AK. Even armor was a luxury that they weren't going for, and still, they make that one stick. That's a huge round to take. I mean, that completely kills all the momentum that Lithuania had. That'll slow things down massively. I mean, they've got to force buy back in themselves. They're very similarly not bringing a lot to the table. Great work. Should be. Not only yeah, I'm going to say. No way, guy. Don't get back-to-back eco. It should be, right, a 6th and also a 7th put on the board for North Macedonia. So they're actually in reach and distance now.
Maybe a step. Danny seemed to have his head swung.
Yeah. I think he probably just knows that timing-wise, it's a real possibility. Oh, now he knows. He's going to get
scary
out.
spot, scary spot. Don't give him the re-peek. So he will indeed drop back a smoke as well for good measure to make sure that there's nobody there chasing him, because they are feeling more of an A play at the moment. It's only him on B, so he has to be very, very careful to keep this control while the A guys decide what they're going to do. They're looking for a mid push here. Not really going to do too much, right, because they're quite far up on B now. Bomb will make its way out just about. Timing dodgy for Danny, and he will be chased down by Magilla, who was already out and ready for that fight. Bomb plant coming in, the back-to-back ecos, as you said. Maybe a bit stronger of a force buy here, but, North Macedonia really needed to net this one, break the bank, close the gap, all that good stuff. Maybe even start setting your sights on it, and they have taken their eyes off the ball. Stress aren't known about, got 3 to find. It's not going to happen, so he will take the M4 into the next, but really not what you wanted, and in a way, it's kind of better for Lithuania, because now you have destroyed the money of the CT side.
Yes, yeah, exactly that. They save 1 M4, and that is as good as it gets. Nothing else they can really do behind it. Man, back-to-back ecos. I think also showing just a little bit of the sloppiness that this game can bring as well. And you got to say, fair play for Lithuania. You get kind of heartbroken a little bit in a round that you shouldn't have lost, and you say, all right, you just shrug it off, and you go back in with a force of your own, Tech 9s and Deagles, and you make it stick. Double the rounds now, 10-5. We get another M4 invested in and a FAMAS brought to the table. So it's not the worst buy in the world for North Macedonia, but generally speaking, this is it. This is make or break. You lose this, not only 11, but 12 for Lithuania because your economy shatter on that CT side. This is the be-all and end-all of North Macedonia, not only in this map, in this series, but in this tournament as well. Elbow push going to come through as well. A lot of damage dealt. Oh my god, Sparta's just about gets out of dodge and reuse the first of falls. That's also a recoverable gun.
Yeah, we'll see it. It's going to be guarded a little bit. Spartus just creeps in through the smoke. It's a nice Molotov, I suppose, to distract Danny away. And so much pressure put in towards middle means that they are so ready here on B. And again, able to get into those deep positions. Nice find from Kimar on that 5-7. Once again, he's upgraded to an M4 now. Can he do anything with it? He's super low himself. A late smoke comes in. Bemis with the odd angle. Catches Aid Kit in the back, who feels like the only player that could have done anything in this 2-on-3. Kimar doesn't fancy the clutch. Can he even make it away? Bemis is after him, and down he will go. So no save weaponry. Lithuania looking to put this one to bed.
That's good. That's a really, really good round. Just making sure that there's nothing gained there by North Macedonia at all. No silver linings. Like we said, economy broken for them. You actually make arguments as, you know, do you even actually just force here as well, right? You know, you don't want to play for overtime. You want to try and play for it, and a lot of teams go for that. It actually looks like that is going to be the case for North Macedonia. I don't hate it. You've got nothing to lose at this point. Trying to play for recovery from 12-5 down to take it to overtime is next to impossible. So you've already won one slightly gimmicky round earlier in this half. Just hope that you can do more of the same to put that pressure on. You know, economy, you know, is not built up just yet for that C-side to a point where it's unstoppable. Low buy, or I guess a half buy round in a sense here. Might be pushing over the line, Ryu. I didn't even see it. That just felt instinctual, but this force has come and fallen so damn flat.
Yeah, finally a round that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
Final player spotted and finished. Spartas keeps it cool. 12-5. Starting to hammer it home now.
Yeah.
North Macedonia never really getting going in this series, unfortunately. You know, a team that we had decent hopes. You maybe right at the start said that they were kind of the favourites.
Yeah,
maybe
I would have
not
thought
super
so.
clear, but
especially with how they started in the group as well. You know, they came out the gates flying with Lithuania didn't, and you know, I didn't really want to put too much stock in that Poland game. I just don't think there's any stock to be had there. But yeah, credit to them, Lithuania.
Just a little, I think, taught them a few lessons of like, okay, maybe everyone here can shoot back.
I think it was also one of those things, like, you know, you kind of mentioned a bit earlier, just a confidence booster, right? Saying, all right, yeah, we're crisp, actually. We got a couple of things going for us. Jugas, Beamer, Spartas, everybody getting into the thick of it, into the fray. It is done here. 12, about to turn 13. It's Kim on a 1 versus 5, and they don't give a damn about Bonpon. They want to fight and they want to get this close. I mean, this round has been seen off of in the first 15 seconds. North Macedonia, their road here in the European Championship is unfortunately at an end. And Kimar, he'll do his mighty best, but it'll be all for naught. 13-5, both maps. A stellar showing coming through from Lithuania. I mean, there's so little we can say in a bad note for them. They actually just did look fantastic.
Yeah, and I think really cleaning up their act even since yesterday, you know, and just a bit more discipline. They also caught themselves on this map right at the start on that CT side. That A main aggression, we picked up on it, and I think, you know, everybody on the server kind of did. It was getting abused a little bit, and they did a very, very good job of just realizing that, bringing it back, flattening themselves off a little bit when they need to, and relying on the conventional setups and whatnot, right? And just having those individuals, again, who are looking now very good. Maybe taking them a couple of days to get warm into the tournament. But, yeah, individually speaking, I think that we have a good couple of players here. Ryu looking very, very good. Spartus as well, feeling quite comfortable
like
there.
I was from Jugas. I actually think this kid's stepping up in a big way too. It's a cool team. Like, you know, there's names here that I think are at kind of actually the start of their career. You look at basically everybody bar BMAS, and they're actually, you know, really in the infancy stages of their pro career. It could be kind of a team of names that we look back in a couple of years and say, like, we cost them probably right at the beginning. I mean, maybe bar Ryu, I think, you know, obviously he's had his stints with Monty, but everybody else is actually relatively unknown. Jugas, of course, has this year started to make a bit of a name for himself, but a cool team. I think they play some cool Counter-Strike. They've definitely got some guys who can hit hard.
Yes, indeed. As things are looking relatively good, I would say, for Team Lithuania, and hopefully it will continue for them moving forwards. Yeah, but I mean, that's going to do us for the Counter-Strike today.
Yeah, it's an
a
early
bit of a quick one.
It's a quick day. We're back
for
tomorrow, though. We've got 3 games for you tomorrow.
Yes,
so we're making sure
plenty,
that you...
plenty tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of Counter-Strike. But in all fairness as well, while we're maybe having a little bit of an early day, the women's playoff is about to begin as well, just following this. So worth checking in for that. Dota's in the thick of it too, so if you're interested in that, check it out too. But if you want to be more Counter-Strike, women's playoffs is about to be beginning, and then that is both semis actually today. So worth watching, tuning in for that as well. Some pretty spicy games. You know, I'm hearing France are the favourites, and they've been pretty flawless basically. So I don't think they've even dropped a map. So things are looking good. Sweden apparently also looking very, very good as well. They got big wins over Denmark, so a bit of a rivalry there.
Yeah.
I've been trying to keep sort of in tune with it. They're playing Netherlands, I think, in the first semis. That one should be pretty spicy. So we might tune in for a few of those as well. But yeah, here in the CS2 Open, we're done. Nice easy day, mate. Can't complain.
Yeah, I suppose
sometimes you have the long
so.
ones, sometimes you have the quick
ones.
Yeah,
it was a lot yesterday, a lot of energy. The voice needs a bit of a rest after the Kosovo game, not going to lie.
And we've got a big day tomorrow. We've got Kosovo on the stage to kickstart things. Then got Germany on the stage as well.
Yeah, we
and then
get to watch a bit
the
of big.
winners' game. So, I mean, it's going to be a big day at Counter-Strike tomorrow. Save your voices, save your energy. If you're here in Pristina, come join us as well. He's going to be absolutely bouncing here in the arena and at home as well. I'm sure you're going to hear all about it. But for now, we're going to leave it on that note. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Like we said, we're back tomorrow 10 a.m. again to kickstart things tomorrow of Kosovo on the main stage. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be sick for myself and Scriv. Thank you for joining us. See you tomorrow.
Andra, Sydflak, zemra zjarr. Në Kosovë, aty ku andrat nisën ekranet vogla. Ne u rritëm, por loja në mbetin zemër. Munësh me urzu, munësh me u thy fituesit. Ata nuk di me u dorzu. Ata kapin majat, se synimi është veç nalt. Heronjt I takuem, e heronj u banëm vet. Në Kosovë, aty ku toka merr frym e andrat marrin hov. Hajde ta djegim arenën. Tash është koha me shkrujt emnin tan.
Fatoni edhe bashkë me krejtshësninëvet e din që s'ka me internet e pakot telkosit.
Telkos, dashnin lidhjet parë.
Andra, Sydflak, zemra zjarr. Në Kosovë, aty ku andrat nisën ekranet vogla. Ne u rritëm, por loja në mbetin zemër. Munësh me urzu, munësh me u thy fituesit. Ata nuk di me u dorzu. Ata kapin majat, se synimi është veç nalt. Heronjt I takuem, e heronj u banëm vet. Në Kosovë, aty ku toka merr frym e andrat marrin hov. Hajde ta djegim arenën. Tash është koha me shkrujt emnin tan.
me kreitsos niinevat, edin që s'ka me internet e pakot telkusit.
Telkos, dashnin lidhjet par.